that nowhere does Article 5 state that NATO member states are supposed to send direct troops towards the defense of another NATO member state in times of conflict. In fact, there are no lines, no confines, no set parameters at all as to what this military aid should constitute. In fact, NATO members are free to determine what the appropriate level of support or aid is. Meaning we can have one NATO member state that sends, let's say, approximately 10 or 20,000 troops to another NATO member state in conflict, whereas another would merely send, 100 artillery shells, 200 perhaps. So it leaves a lot of things open for interpretation. And it's my opinion that in times such as these, where our enemies are cooperating to a further extent, where there are bilateral security pacts within multiple enemy states, we must more clearly define military and security responsibilities and duties regarding Article 5. I want to see a minimum, based upon each country's capability and the overall size of its military, that they should disseminate to another NATO member state in conflict in times of war. And I think it's only logical, given the fact that in times of conflict, you want to know, you want to have a clear picture regarding the forces you have at your disposal, right? If I want to implement or concoct effective strategies and tactics against my opposition, I must know what I'm dealing with. I must know the forces and resources at my disposal, or at the very least have a proper hunch of them, have a proper notion of them. This is one of the reasons why now NATO has put more of these quick reaction forces under its own command, because obviously, you want to have a clear picture of what you're working with in order to confront a viable threat. So this is where NATO, in my opinion, needs to become significantly more strict. Article 5 needs to be reformed. There need to be more clearly defined duties and responsibilities regarding what direct military aid constitutes. And the reason why this has not been addressed before is because, here's where Trump is right at. For a very long time, NATO member states have allowed the US to tuck the NATO boat. Set back whilst the US took out the majority, or took care of the majority of their problems, whether politically or security related.